Hey guys, Doug Pedersen here, your friend and guide on the path to feeling better and doing better. All right, today is video number 26, and we're talking about how thousands of people now practice self-care at work. Are you one of them? I sure hope so, but if you're not, by the end of this video, my goal is to encourage you to become one of them. But before we get into it and dive into it, I just again want to thank you guys for spending time with me and checking out these videos. We are getting almost 100 views each time we publish this video, and although that's not a lot in the world of video training and whatnot, it's a lot more than what we started with. And so to me, that's 100 people, that's 100 opportunities to learn and grow together. I want to thank you for checking it out and for staying tuned. All right, so today it's all about self-care at work, and I want to ask you, to get us started and get us warmed up, if you've ever had one of those days, or maybe day after day or week after week of work where you just slug it out, and it just feels like a total grind, and you're not taking your breaks, and maybe not even taking your lunch, maybe not getting breakfast, and you're just fully immersed and committed to your job, maybe even passionate about your job, but at the end of the day, when you're home, either alone or with your wife or husband or boyfriend, girlfriend, or even your kids, and you just feel like you have nothing left to give, right? You've worked so hard, you've put all your energy into your job, or the conflicts of the job, or the successes of the job, where you get home and your brain's just mush, right? You have nothing left to give, nothing to offer anyone else. If you're in that place now, or if you've been in that place, I want to raise my hand and say, yeah, me too. I've definitely been there, and I want to let you know right out of the gate that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It doesn't have to be that way, and it certainly shouldn't be that way for very long, but you do have to follow the light at the end of the tunnel, and you also have to travel through the tunnel. The question is, how fast can you do it, and how committed are you to doing it, all right? So I can remember being in that place. It was almost 10 years ago, and it was during the Great Recession and early on in Careers in Nonprofits history. And I had a very dear friend of mine come visit me in Chicago, and we were talking about our lives and talking about business and how things are going. And I just remember feeling like in that place, like I really didn't want to be at dinner with him because I was just tired, and I felt like every day was a grind. And I can even remember telling him, like, hey, I'm just a grinder. I come from a long line of people that know how to work hard. I don't know if it's going to add up to anything, but that's what I'm doing. And thank God he spoke other words of truth to me that didn't resonate or take hold until later. But I can remember being in that place and feeling like that was true, and that was just going to be my experience for a long, long time. And I think that's the old school of thought. When you think about work and just, here in America, especially where we prioritize our careers and prioritize work so much, that's the old school of thought. And businesses and major corporations have tried different things that we as people has demanded as we felt pressures at work. You can think about the different eras of human resources, if you will, where, at one point, the employee was just supposed to suck it up, and deal with it. If you want a job, you're going to deal with the conditions and do whatever it takes because it's competitive. You want to keep your job. And a new era emerged where it was pay for performance. And it's like, if I'm going to work this hard, I want to share in the wealth of the business, or share in the profits of the business. And you saw the era of pay for performance. And eventually people wanted to feel work-life balance. You see programs pop up in communities or in businesses and companies where it's all about work-life balance and flex time and benefits and things like that. And I just think that we're in another era. Like, there's another new school of thought when it comes to approaching well-being at work. And you don't have to go much farther than the internet. Go to Google and type in well-being programs, and you'll see all the new schools of thought of how companies and businesses are trying to incorporate well-being into the workday for their employees, because they realize that people are burned out, and people are frustrated, and study after study after study are talking about this, and the smart corporations, the smart leaders are understanding how this is affecting the bottom line, the productivity and their profits. And so, if you're not practicing self-care at work, I really want to encourage you to join the new school. and to realize just how feeling good and doing good can improve your productivity and put you on the path to promotion, or put you on the path to getting the results that you want, even at work, and really in every area of your life. Okay, I know that when I was able to unwind it, luckily I was able to unplug from the media, start prioritizing my health again. When I became a father, I rededicated myself to health and just movement and trying to stay young. As I started to do the math and realize that my kids were gonna grow up, well into my 60s, I wanted to be strong and viable for them. And that has brought a lot of benefits by focusing there and spending more time in the family and trying to be more healthy and find ways to feel good. I've really benefited a lot, in business and in work, and been able to resolve conflicts much faster and lead people in a more effective way, and just come at my day and come at tasks and come at challenges from a much, much more optimistic place. And I don't feel like I'm a grinder anymore. I don't feel like I just have to grind things out. And at the end of the workday, when my kids are home and it's time for sports, or time for their meals, or time to teach them their homework, I feel like I have a lot left to give, because I know that I need to. And I've got the reserves in the tank. So the benefits are for all of us, not just for me, and it doesn't make me special. Thousands are doing this now. And so I want to encourage you to check out this new school of thought, about how well-being can be part of your work day, not just something on the side, not something on weekends, or just something you think about. It has to happen in real time, in the moment. There's a book out by a guy by the name of Dave Asprey. If you've ever heard of him, he's the Bulletproof Coffee guy. But he's got a book out called Game Changers, and it's about like life hacks or biohacks about how people can feel better and get more productivity out of their performance. And anyway, you can check out the book. It's a good read. We did it as a book club study at work. But he's got a section in the foreword where he says, what would happen if you sat down with 450 of the world's most successful, most productive people and asked them what their keys to success were. And anyway, long story short, he did that because he's got a very successful podcast, and he sat down with these people and interviewed them, and he's put their comments into like a word map. And what are the words that they say the most? What are they emphasizing the most? It's all self-care. You'll find words like nutrition and meditation and sleep and gratitude and relationships and supplements and rest. All things self-care related. They're not talking about goal-oriented results, time management, conflict resolution, anything like that. Okay, so check it out. I really think that this new school of thought is taking not just people by storm or companies by storm, but it's being pushed to the front, because a lot of us are feeling so frustrated, and a lot of us feel like we don't have anything left to give, and we just know that doesn't seem right. That's not our natural state of being. Okay, so some of the common mistakes to this practice of well-being is ignoring the warning signs, right? For me, when I was saying that, the words coming out of my mouth was I'm a grinder, that was a major warning sign that I needed to pay attention to. But it might be fatigue. If you're fatigued, that's a warning sign that you need to refocus and get to a place of well-being. If you're feeling very cynical about, your work or about the people at your work, that's a warning sign. You can do some well-being work, some self-care work to improve that. Or if you're starting to lose confidence in your own skills and abilities and your own effectiveness at work, that's a major warning sign. It's just telling you, hey, you need to step back. You need to take time for self-care and reprioritize things, okay? And so right now it's all about, in my view, this new school of thought, the things that really work is something I call micro-recovery. It's not just breaks, it's not just lunch, but it's finding ways in the moment when you feel stressed at work to feel better. So little quick coherence techniques are great for that. Different nutrition plans are great for that. Stopping to meditate or be mindful, or to just do 2 minutes of journaling are great during the day to feel micro recovery and to practice self-care. Closing your eyes for a few minutes during a break, very, very beneficial. Okay, so it's all about micro recovery, and it's all about building resilience. You have to to do something to become more resilient. It's not just going to happen overnight. So you need to have some practices in there. You need to do more self-care so that you have more to give, not just at your job, but at the end of the day too, or in other areas of your life. And you're going to do that as you continue to build and work towards your resilience, right? There's no limit to the amount of resilience that you can capture or demonstrate, all right, in work or anywhere in life, all right? So think about that. Think about how you can become more resilient, more mindful, and feel better even during your workday. Not just before, not after, not on the weekend, but actually during the day by taking advantage of some of these things that we've talked about in the self-care world. All right? So that's my time, guys. I want to leave you with a quick challenge. Now, in other videos, I've talked about the benefits of fasting. You know, some of you know that I really like to do the 36-hour fast because I think that's the easiest for me to do and I get the most bang for my buck, okay? Some of you aren't going to want to do that, but what I'm going to challenge you to do is to take a 36-hour digital fast. Sometimes just unplugging from our phones, from anything not essential like media, social media, texts, and phone calls that aren't essential for the 36 hours is very, very beneficial just for the mind because we can relax. So I'm going to challenge you to take a 36-hour digital fast. How are you going to do that? Maybe you need to do this on a weekend, but basically when you shut down your job on a Friday, so let's say 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, you can use your phone up till 7 o'clock at night, Friday night. What I want you to do is turn it off and then don't turn it on again. So you're going to sleep that night, Friday night into Saturday morning. Don't interact with your phone at all on Saturday. Keep it off the entire day. And then make sure you go to bed with the phone turned off, having not looked at it all day. Phone, computer, iPad, anything. Sleep again, and when you wake up Sunday morning, you can turn your phone back on and interact with it however you want. So you're basically just doing one day, but you're getting a good portion of that 36 hours done while you're sleeping. So it's really just one day without looking at your phone. I challenge you to do that, and then I challenge you to ask yourself if you don't feel better. You know, ask yourself, do I feel better or not? All right, so take that challenge, and I want you to let me know in the comments of this video if you did it and when you did it. Again, take some action and let me help you be accountable. So I'll interact with you here. I want to hear your experience, and I want to hear how it went for you. If it was hard, if it was easy, if you felt better or not. And let's practice some of this stuff together. All right? All right, guys, that's my time. I hope you got something out of this. Remember, the goodness that's in me is the goodness that's in you, so I want you to go after it with all you got. Have a great day, everybody.